Human rights lawyers and public interest laws have called on the National Assembly to review the country's law to carry out massive amendment to address the contemporary challenges of the nation and its citizens. The group made the call while explaining the fault and differences in the extant laws at a press conference in Abuja. They condemned the announced plan to impose the sum of 1,000 naira levy on Nigerians as an annual vehicle proof of ownership levy, stating that the levy is a double taxation system that must be keenly considered by the government. In the same vein, the human rights lawyer further urged the Economic Financial Crime Commission and other law enforcement agencies to desist from intermeddling in civil and contractor dispute between parties to avoid delving into matters outside its jurisdiction.
The immediate past Inspector General of Police, where he stayed in office beyond the times provided for by the public service rules. Now, that particular issue calls for the National Assembly to, with utmost importance, review that provision so as to provide clarity to the nation with respect to how a very important office with respect to the security landscape of the country should be governed and administered. Secondly, and of utmost importance too, this one is of great importance to us all as Nigerians. We all are very much aware that there is a provision with respect to enforcement of judgments. You know, generally when you sue government agencies and you get judgment, there's a law which governs the way in which you go to enforce that said judgment. Now, this law is basically the law that we refer to as the Sheriff and Civil Process Act. Now, this act, for me, is
across governmental ministries, departments, agencies, and parastatals. The body was supposed to be a mechanism through which Nigerians can lodge complaints against tyrannical and errant public officers whose conduct falls below the standard required of public and civil servants. SABICO customary have offices in all federal government agencies, take complaints, and ensure that justice and fairness is done. Unfortunately, this body has now failed to uphold the purpose of its establishment. The agency no longer addresses complaints and has now become very ineffective. The organization leadership and modus operandi has accordingly encouraged abuse of official duties on one hand, as well as precluding victims of these errant officers from accessing appropriate remedy within the administrative system. This is our concern about SABICOM. When SABICOM was established, and as a matter of fact, 3 years ago, SABICOM usually is an organization where Nigerians run to get succor when government agencies are not performing their action to expectation.